I wrote this piece July 15th of 2025, and I'm finally ready to talk about it. March 2nd, 2024, I married the love of my life. June 2nd, 2024, my dear friend was dying, and for some reason on that day, I could not stop crying. She had been sick for a while, but that day I was overwhelmed with emotion. I woke up planning to see her, not knowing when she'd take her last breath, but opted out due to a steady and continuous stream of tears. Instead, I texted her, vulnerable, conveying how much she means to me. I told her I trust God, but I just couldn't understand. Why you? I said. She asked, are you so emotional because you fear the unknown? And man, on that day, I didn't understand the significance of that question. But through her pain, she made me laugh and at least temporarily helped to wipe the tears away. But as the day continued, my heart cried and cried. Something was off, but I could not pinpoint why. I continued to cry. June 3rd, 2024, the next day, a Monday, the unknown hit like a baseball cracked straight up midfield. I got a phone call while at work that my mom was found on the floor of her home barely breathing. She had had a stroke, and from what they could tell, it happened between Saturday night and early Sunday morning. She was alone, unable to move or reach for the phone, and I remember my body feeling weak as I fell to the floor. Those tears I shed, even after pouring my heart out to my friend, were because my spirit felt my mom was in distress. I had called her that day because I knew she would have comforted my tears, but when she didn't answer, I wouldn't have guessed she was laying on that floor in a million years. I hopped on the plane knowing the prognosis wasn't good. The drive from the airport to the hospital felt like I was driving to the moon. My mom's brainwaves were still active when I arrived, and I believe she heard me and felt me before she died. June 6, 2024, and surrounded by family and friends, my mom was removed from her machines to donate her organs. Her service was held on June 22nd, 2024, and I still can't bear to think about her lying on that floor. It was the first time to date I had the will to put paper to pen, and I wrote my mom a poem entitled Forever Your Daughter and Always Your Friend. July 6, 2024, exactly 1 month after saying goodbye to my mom, my friend Alicia's body had finally succumbed. Did I mention July 6th was Mama Duke's birthday? And I felt like my heart was having its own personal doomsday. Another name had to be added to the balloon release that day. Such a genuine soul who was loving and caring right there with me in the midst of my grief. She was one of a kind, and I miss her dearly. July 31st, 2024, another unpleasant phone call shattered my heart. My childhood home had flooded, probably from a broken heart. All her belongings and treasures ruined in a flash without the chance of retrieving memories to look at as time passed. June 4th, 2025. 2 days before a celebration for my mother dearest, my wife's best friend passed suddenly, and it left us all speechless. She was the one planning the party, but now we were planning her service. The drive to the hospital felt just as long as the first. It was an unwelcome flashback, as if it was rehearsed. Hearing my wife cry out is something I will never forget, and the pain we all felt that day had my heart in a pit. July 15th, 2025. Why today? I haven't written in over a year. The thing is, as you can see, I've had a lot to say. I mean, God had provided me with plenty of new material. And yet I remained silent, feeling incapable of facing my new reality. Were they lost thoughts? Or did it just take this long for my thoughts to become coherent? I mean, I tried without succeeding countless times, but it never felt right to write. It's almost like I didn't have the right to go on like nothing occurred. It sat in my belly, churning, because I was yearning to let my pain and grief out on the paper, but I could never conjure up the strength. the willpower to start, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out the reason until today. And then a random thought came into my head for no rhyme or reason. Is this why people cry sad tears during happy seasons and occasions? Because occasionally my mind jumps back to those dates in moments that just don't correlate. Picture being on a date or at your friend's birthday party with ass shaking in your face. I don't know, maybe you can't relate, but it's like the grief was so heavy, I didn't know how to navigate. I got up every day reasoning with myself because bills have to be paid, and yet I'm like, what's the point? No, it didn't rhyme. And I really don't have a reason, but the point I'm making is after tragedy strikes, it feels like the blood flow to your heart is depleted. But those silent times were needed to really just sit in it. I had to allow my brain to catch up to the many thoughts within it. The silence spoke loud and clear, saying life will throw you a curve, and you'll continue to search for the reason. Why did God take my friends and my mama right after I tied the knot? Why do I have to spend every day pretending I'm okay when I'm not? And if you're still wondering why God chose today, well, the only thing I've come up with for certain is He makes no mistakes. Man, I could go keep writing this story, but it will go on all evening. So I guess I'll just stop now for no particular rhyme or reason.